Hi everyone, Drini here, and welcome to my channel. So we're going to take a look at THG today just to update on what's going on in the charts. More specifically, I do want to answer this question. We have now hit historic floors when it comes to the THG price. Could we go lower even further? Well, unfortunately, the answer is yes. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. So let's dive into the charts to see what's going on. So I'm looking at the THG charts here, and if you notice, since the coin's inception right here at around September, we have pretty much reached these lows right here. So in our last video, we did establish that in bearish phases like this or in bear markets like this, one good investing principle is to have risk thresholds. So these are the risk thresholds that we have identified where as long as the price is below this particular level, we continue to DCA accordingly. Otherwise, if it goes above that particular price threshold, then we stop investing and we enjoy the ride. Unfortunately, that only works when we have a good gauge that a turnaround is imminent. But unfortunately, looking at the Bitcoin price action, we still do not have clarity as to where we could go moving forward. The thing to note here is, once again, we have been rejected multiple times on the bull market support band right here. History indicates that whenever we are rejected, we always go lower than the lows that we established before. So, while of course, it is still a strong likelihood that we are currently undergoing a running flat right here, where we are posting lower lows like this before subsequent continuation to the upside, because of perceived market weakness and because of certain geopolitical situations, scenarios 2, which is an expanded flat where we could go lower from here, so something like this before continuation, or we could have a major capitulation candle to the downside that will make Bitcoin price go down all the way to around 20K. Very similar to this particular candle right here and this particular candle right here. Now that the two bearish scenarios are still at play, what do we do then with THG moving forward? The first thing that we need to do is we kind of need to scrap this plan first. Because what you don't want to happen is you do not want to be caught up in the middle right here. Because if you keep DCAing like here, for example, and then Bitcoin further capitulates and we go to ungodly levels below, your investments here versus just investing when things are either on the way down or on the way up because Bitcoin has now fully recovered and we are above our weekly EMA structure, it is better to have certainty, or it is better to have certainty to the downside than keep DCAing here when the downside risk is really much lower than the upside gains that you will have in the foreseeable future. So first question, if we break this floor right here and it appears that we will eventually do that, at least in the short term, where could we potentially go? So this is where other tokens that we track will provide quite a nice roadmap as to where could we potentially lead to. When I look at the SPS price action, so the Splinterlands token, it had an ongoing floor of around 22 cents right here. So 22 cents was pretty much the floor for the longest time. So we were holding support right here, holding support, but unfortunately in January, we really recapitulated down and we have fallen below what the established prices were. So looking at the SPS price action, from this floor all the way to this low right here, SPS fell by an additional 53%. So never underestimate the power of breaking floors, because when we break floors, we are pretty much in price discovery but to the downside. So going back to THG right here, if we fall from this historic floor right here, so let me just establish that. So we are currently around here. Actually, we've already broken through the floor right here. Where could we potentially go? So a 53% drawdown or a 50% drawdown from here would lead us to around 50 cents-ish. So around 56 cents is where we could potentially go if we break through this particular floor. This 50 cent would correspond to, from the all-time highs right here all the way to the all-time lows, a 97% drawdown to the downside. So now that we know all of the scenarios at play, what is the best strategy moving forward? So I'm not going to tell you what you need to do, but I will tell you what I personally am doing at the moment. So full disclosure, I still own the bag of THG that I bought way back. So unfortunately, I did not sell anything. Just how it goes, because I thought the markets would quickly recover from here and THG's upside was more prevalent at that time. But unfortunately, we broke down. So it is what it is. My average price was around $5-ish. So I think it's around here. Given that I am significantly down here, what I've been doing is I haven't been buying this particular downtrend right here. Instead, there are a couple of things that I did. The first thing that I did was, instead of just having my THG sit on my wallet, I put it in a PancakeSwap liquidity pool. So THG is currently in the THG BNB pool, where I am earning around 30% APY and I get paid in cake. So while waiting for the staking mechanisms for THG, I am putting it into good use because I don't want to sell it at a loss. Might as well just hold it and make it work harder for me while I wait for the markets to recover. And right now, my current plan is twofold. I'm currently holding a cash position for THG. That is significant, but it will only be spent if certain market conditions are met. One of them is this particular capitulation right here. So if Bitcoin, on a worst case scenario, decides to capitulate 50% further, so we have a capitulation candle, let's say from here all the way down to around $18,000 or $20,000, very similar to this capitulation candle right here. The cash position that I've allotted for THG will be spent only if scenario 3 happens, where we have this major capitulation to the downside. Because I am expecting that if Bitcoin further capitulates from here, everything will get wrecked. And we may even go down further than the 50% right here. We can actually go as much as 99% down, for example. A 99% drawdown would pretty much bring us to around 22 cents. So that is scenario number 1 for me. So currently, there is a particular bag that I have spent, my budget for THG pretty much, and what that does is that bag is not the same value as this particular bag because it doesn't have to be. Because remember, buying THG here at these levels when we have a major capitulation moment becomes very, very lucrative, and you don't even need to spend a lot of money to refill those bags and really bring this average price down. Scenario 2, of course, would be dependent on Bitcoin. So the other scenario that I am waiting for is I am waiting for Bitcoin to be above this EMA structure before I come in significantly for THG. So what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for Bitcoin to really shoot up this EMA structure right here, back tested as support before continuation to the upside. Once we have this confirmation that we are above the current support levels, then you go back to THG. What's going to happen then is THG may be doing a rally like this, may even break significant EMAs, backtesting them as support before continuation. I don't mind losing on this particular opportunity right here because I am aiming for certainty. I am not aiming for the lowest price possible because at this point, it is much better to be certain on the upside or certain of capitulation. These are just the scenarios that are available for THG. Overall, I'm still investing in it. I mean, why not, right? The project is still pretty much in operation. A lot of players have quit, but a lot of players have now come in, given the opportunity that's available to them, knowing that the THG price is currently very attractive for investments. If you like that video, hit like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you want me to make a video about your favorite gaming crypto? Be a Patreon subscriber so you can request for it. Being a Patreon subscriber helps keep the channel sponsor, shill, and Moonboy free. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.